Grab some 2x2s to increase your bathroom storage in a few easy steps. I cut 4 2x2s to 6 feet each and cut 6 to 19 inches, and I cut another 6 to 4 inches each. I sanded all the boards, then used my Craig jig to drill pocket holes in each side of the smallest 2x2. I secured the 4-inch boards to the 19-inch boards with pocket screws and wood glue to make a rectangle. I repeated this 2 more times to end up with 3 rectangles. I marked down 2 inches from the top of each 6-foot 2x2 and used a countersink bit to pre-drill the long 2x2 to the rectangle frame. I filled the screw holes with wood filler on the front side only and sanded the excess off smooth once dry. I wiped, cleaned, and painted the frame with Benjamin Moore color wrought iron. While that was drying, I sanded cedar 1x6 boards, ripped them down to size, and sealed them with 2 coats of polyurethane. I used a brad nailer to secure the cedar boards to the top of each rectangle base and slid the shelf over my toilet for the most modern functional bathroom storage. I absolutely love how this turned out, and it can be completely customized for your bathroom. If your bathroom is outdated, I've got the perfect DIY that's going to completely transform the space. Okay, we're gonna add wallpaper to this little section in the bathroom, and I got my wallpaper from Rocky Mountain Decals. You need to make sure the top goes in the top, and there's 1 and 2. We're renovating all areas of our bathroom, but you could easily just do these 2 things and it will still make such a big impact. I put up wallpaper on the wall behind our toilet. First, I started with the top corner. You want to place the wallpaper a little higher than the wall and a little further to the left so it overlaps. You can cut off the extra, don't worry. I just pull down the backing a little bit as I go. It is better to have some overlap and trim because if you have an older home like ours, chances are your walls aren't perfectly straight and it won't line up. I love having scraps. As I peeled it down, I used the wallpaper tool to smooth it all out. I continued moving slowly down the wall, working my way, making sure to keep smoothing the wallpaper out. I trimmed the extra at the bottom, and then I used a drywall scraper and I pressed it into the corner and I ran my utility knife along the edge to cut the extra off. Pretty good. This made a really nice straight edge. The second thing I did was add a floating shelf, and I used 2x2s and secured 1 to the back wall into the studs, and then I secured 2 small pieces of the sides of the wall, but there were no studs available, so I had to install drywall anchors first. I attached the back corners to the back 2x2s. I added a small piece to the front, making sure everything was level. Then I measured and cut some cedar boards, and then I placed 1 on top and 1 on the bottom. I used glue and a brad nailer to secure them. And then I used another piece of cedar for the front. I used construction adhesive and taped it on with painter's tape so that it would stay. Once it was dry, I removed the painter's tape, but I didn't want any nail holes in the front because I wanted to make it look like it was 1 large board. I applied 2 coats of clear polyurethane to the boards, and those are my 2 steps, wallpaper and a floating shelf that I used to completely transform this toilet nook in my bathroom.
I wanted to give this wall behind a toilet a feature without spending money. We'd recently changed the flooring and I had 1 box of luxury vinyl plank flooring left over, and I thought it could make a creative and easy accent wall. The wall was a little wider than the size of a vinyl plank. The vinyl plank measurement was 36 inches, so I knew I'd need to add trim pieces at the edges. The trim pieces would help cover up the edges of the flooring and finish it off nicely. I started with the first plank at the top of the wall. I made sure it was level. It was important not to just push it up to the ceiling because sometimes that isn't perfectly straight, and it's better to make sure your plank is level, and you can always go back and fill in any gap left at the top with trim if necessary. The reason I started at the top was because I figured that if I had any issues with the end of the installation, like needing to cut the width of a plank at the end, then that would be done at the bottom of the wall, where the toilet would help cover any imperfections. It was easy to secure the planks using the nail gun. The luxury vinyl plank pieces use a click and lock system for installation, so I just had to make sure that the tongue side of the piece was facing down. This allowed me to attach the next piece. I continued attaching pieces and securing them with the nail gun. At the bottom, I cut the plank so that it wouldn't interfere with the water line. The wall was looking great, but I needed to work on the trim pieces at the end. I measured the trim piece and cut it to size. It was white, but I wanted to make the bathroom look more rustic, industrial, and so I used some leftover black paint. It looked great, but needed to be more functional. Since there were leftover materials lying around in this condo renovation I was working on, I was able to easily find a leftover piece of wood. This was a 1x4 piece. I bought some L brackets and attached them to the 1x4 pieces. I then set these where I wanted them on the wall, made sure they were level, and attached them. It wasn't difficult screwing into the vinyl plank into the wall. I didn't plan on putting anything heavy on these shelves, but if you do, you may want to make sure that you're drilling into a stud. The 2 shelves looked great, and now I added some decorative touches and small items that I wanted in the bathroom. And here's the final result. The cost to me was less than $10 since I had the box of flooring and the wood for the shelves that I could use.
I woke up so inspired to do a one-day project, so I went to my garage and grabbed some 1x4s. I cut down 2 30-inch boards and 4 18.5-inch boards. I wanted this little mini shelving unit that I was building to be 30 inches tall and 20 inches wide. I wood glued and nailed that together, leaving 9 inches of space for each shelf. And then I went to Lowe's in search of a pretty piece of trim that reminded me of an old picture frame. So I brought those home and cut them down. I wanted to make sure that that thicker piece of trim sat flush with the inside edge of that shelving unit that I built. I also mitered the edges so that everything met at 45 degrees and it looked like a picture frame. I wood filled the corners and the nail holes, cleaned that up a little bit, and then grabbed some half rounds to use as shelf rails. I glued those in, and once it was dry, I spray painted it champagne bronze by Rust-Oleum. I did 2 coats just to really cover that trim, and once it was dry, I brought it upstairs, hung it up on the wall, grabbed some things from around the house and leftover objects that I had for the bathroom to decorate it with. It pulled everything together. But the best part about this project is you can totally customize it to whatever you want. You can pick your own trim, you can pick your own colors, you can change the size, the shape, really make this one your own. So I hope you give it a try and let me know if you do.
Today, I'll show you how $35 in tile can transform your bathroom, and it's not in the way you think. We won't be putting the tile on the floor. You'll actually be redoing your mirror. I had seen this hexagonal mosaic tile that I really loved, so I bought several sheets and got to work with it. I removed the tiles from the mosaic tile backing sheet. The reason I removed them instead of using them on the sheet as they are is that the sheet itself has spacing on there where grout would normally go. But I definitely don't want to put any grout on this project. I just want to put the tiles right up next to each other and have them create one solid design. I added liquid nails to the backs of the tiles and started mounting them to the mirror. I first created 1 row along the bottom and didn't worry about the mirror clips. I used flat mirror clips and I worked right over top of them. I just added a little bit more liquid nails to the pieces that were going over the clips so that they would grip well. Then I added a second row of tiles, and after that I started working my way up the sides of the mirror. I did get a little bit of slippage of the tiles, and when I did, I started adding tape as needed. I also alternated between working on the left side or right side just to give a chance for the liquid nails to dry a bit. It took me about 45 minutes to get the tiles done all the way around the mirror. The next day I removed the tape, and I love the way it's starting to look. However, there are a few things that still need to be done. There's some liquid nails that I accidentally got onto the front of some of the tiles, so I needed to remove that so that the tiles would look good. I used mineral spirits on a paper towel, which did remove the liquid nail, but it then started leaving behind all of this paper towel residue, so I don't recommend that. I had to switch to like a lint-free cloth, and that worked a lot better. So I purchased some black caulking. I added it along the edges. I know this looks like a huge mess at first, but just go with me here. After I added the caulking, I wiped it away using the lint-free cloth with the mineral spirits. That was pretty much it. It was a quick and easy project that took me a couple of hours one night and a couple of hours the next day, and made a huge transformation in this bathroom for a total of only $44. I hope this inspired you to buy your favorite mosaic tile and add it to your mirror and spruce up your bathroom a bit. Thanks for watching Home Talk, and see you next time.